Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Lottie. Everything here is made with a lot of love. Today I am showing you how to make 4 clean and simple cards from a simple technique that you use to cut out vellum with your die cuts. So you fold the vellum and send it through your die cut machine, and there you have 4 sets of everything. Really quick, really simple. Then I decided to ink up one of them, and the whole point of the clean and simple cards is there's guidelines to clean and simple, and it's really difficult to actually stick to clean and simple because I always want to add more, I want to add embellishments, I want to stick this down, that down. But you need a certain amount of white space for it to be classed as a clean and simple card. It does take some work and some brain power to actually make your card look clean and simple, but also beautiful and elegant. If you haven't already, please subscribe or just hit the like button. It really does help my channel grow, and I hate to sound like I'm begging, but if you would, it would just mean the world to me. So here is my tutorial on how to make 4 clean and simple cards from one die set, and I hope you enjoy.
So I am just going to make a very quick and easy but beautiful clean and simple card. So here I've got my card topper, which is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. We're going to make a 5 by 5 card, but the topper is always a 1/4 inch smaller than the card itself for me. So for the card topper, because it's clean and simple, I just want it to be very elegant. Make sure I've got the card the right way. So this is my hammered cardstock, lovely thick, I think 300 GSM. I have got here my little embossing tool. I've got a little piece of foam, which I do have an actual embossing foam pad, but again, I try and organise my stash, and then more stash keeps coming. And you know, that's my fault. Anyway, so using the die, I'm going to place this over here like so, and I'm just going to find the edge of that die, and using the embossing tool we are just going to run it over the die, over the cardstock on top of the die, and it's going to emboss gently onto the card. Now it takes some time to do, so have some patience, but trust me, the end result will just look lush. So you can see it's really subtle, but you can see that it's embossed. Okay, so I'm going to do just one more. Okay. And then with my scorer, I want to be the opposite side. So that was 1/2 inch. Just make sure that is 1/2 inch. And I'm going to mark it down to this first line on my mat. Then I'm going to bring this in by 2/8. and then just slightly further down. And slightly further down again. And if I bring this back in, on the flip side of it, I can see where the embossing was done, so I'm just going to give it another good going over. Beautiful. And then we're going to bring in the vellum poinsettia. I feel like there might be something needed here. So I re-stamped the sentiment and embossed with embossing ink and silver embossing powder because I wanted the sentiment raised rather than on the actual card itself, mainly because it didn't work and I had to rub it off. I do everything on purpose, you know. So I'm just giving this a bit of heat. And just look at the gorgeous way it glistens when it's done. Lush. And then I'm just going to fussy cut that out when it's properly dry and not hot, and then we'll stick it all together. And so now I'm just cutting a background for the topper at 4 7/8
by 4 7/8.
So what I'm going to do, is use my double-sided tape. Let me get this out of the way. Gosh, I always have such trouble with just peeling off this backing. Come on now, there we go, thank you. And so that will just sit beautifully. On there, like so. I cut out the season's greetings, so I'm going to put some 3D dots on the back of that. that's just going to sit on the top of where I had initially tried to do it on the top here. And then in comes the very delicate poinsettia. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue, bring in my the back leaves. Like so. And then just curl these up slightly while it's drying. And that is ready to be put on the card base. And so I've just got my base. I am going to use 3D tape. Just gonna stick that down onto the top like so. And that is your very beautiful, clean and simple Christmas card with a vellum poinsettia flower. I just think that's gorgeous. So now this is dry, you can just take a brush. I left this to dry overnight and just scrape away the gold leaf pieces. Now don't worry, I'm not going to waste these. When do I ever waste anything? So just giving it a bit of a scrape because some of it will have stuck down. But try not to scratch your card. And every card will look different. So right now it looks a bit nothingy, but I'll show you a different one. So this has come out really cute, more holes in it, I guess, so less splodges with my fingers. And this one is one that I made earlier. How very Blue Peter. And I stamped on there, I've coloured in, and then I've added some pearls, and one's fallen off, but I'm going to rectify that soon. But it's just a clean and simple mixed media style card. And then with this one, I think it's so beautiful that actually just popping that on there 3D with a sentiment, stunning card, clean and simple, added textures, beautiful. So I found this cute die cut. I'm going to make this the focal sentiment. I'm going to raise this up onto there, and it's just going to look absolutely stunning. So it's a very intricate cut, so hopefully it's cut through nicely. Looks like it has. I use these tweezers for everything. Ooh. So I'm going to have to be careful here because there is a dot to the eye and a star that wasn't part of it. Tell you what, it's going to take a while. I'll come back. Ooh, I think I felt like I sweated the whole time I was getting that out of the die. So this is so intricate that I am not going to spend 5 hours putting glue on the back of this. So I'm going to show you my trick that I do when I have a very intricate cut die. Now also, just to say, this die is not all completely interlinked, so it's going to take some precision. So what I'm going to do, so there's a dot there for the eye. I don't know whether the camera's going to pick this up on this background. A star there, a star there, and a star there. So I'm going to keep this here as reference to kind of where things will go in. I've got some clear, just PVA glue here. I'm going to move these to somewhere that I can actually see that they are. And some of you are probably going to go, ah, don't do that. I'm going to put a big blob of glue, kind of make it not so gloopy. Got a spare piece of paper there, and I'm going to gently dab that down into the glue, get my tweezers, move that up and dab that down. And I say this is my trick, I've probably seen this somewhere. And then very carefully, gosh, I'm shaking. It's only a die, Lottie. Yes, my real name is Charlotte. But for the purposes of entertainment, I am Lottie. Oops. And just try and get that in the right place. And that's beautifully stuck down without the gloopy glue everywhere. So again, dab that down gently into the glue. need to just make sure that's stuck down. My hands are glue free. Remove any excess that did come off. Beautiful. And then I had a dot, so I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue on my tweezer top so I can pick up my dot. And put that just above the eye there. Then we had a star, just the smallest one was there. Doesn't have to be exactly like the die. Oh no, I've just flipped that the wrong way. Maybe I'll add some glitter. No, I won't. But this is very fiddly. Okay, that's going to sit on there, above the H there. Gorgeous. That looks so clean and simple and beautiful. And then we're just going to add that little poinsettia, and that's the card done. And I think I'm going to put a little gold background on before the card base. And if you're wondering, I've just wiped that away with some tissue, spraying this with some alcohol, rubbing alcohol. And then I will just get a little scrubby sponge, and that will all come off clean. Oh, clean and simple. You could let your complete inner child free and wait for it to dry and then peel it off. But I don't have time for that. I'm a very busy lady. And I haven't got all day. It won't cost much. Just your voice. I've been watching way too many shows with my daughter. Okay. Listen to the squeak. Okay, this is not a cleaning channel. Okay, so I'm going to put it there with a single dot, and I removed one of the leaves so that it doesn't interfere with the sentiment die. And just give that a zhuzh up, and I used the one that I stuck the gold centre on. So I've got my 5x7 card top. This was 4 3/4 by 7 3/4. So I just want a really thin outline, so it's not going to be quite 7. I'm going to do seven and 7/8. That's the score. And 4 7/8. Oh yes. And so I'm going to stick that down with double-sided tape and stick that one on with foam tape, and that's the card done. Absolutely gorgeous. And the sun just shone in on that as if praise the card. Beautiful. So this is the one I made in my shorts video, which was just a scrap buster. I had a circle cut out from a previous card I made. In fact, I'll show you a sneaky peek of this card. That is a homemade bauble for the Christmas tree. That is another tutorial. So I had a circle that was cut out from the centre, but it was actually a little bit damaged from the plates of my die cut. So what I did was run it through the embossing folder. I took this one and I just placed it so that it only got the stars in the background, and that not only embossed it, but it kind of removed the damage that was on the card. And mirror card is not forgiving, so that's quite a good tip. And I've got my phone in the camera shot. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's just 3 strips of any scrap card you've got left over. So here I've got a little strip of snowflakes. I could cut that out, and you could either have them straight or staggered, anything you want really, and then add a topper and embellishment and you're done. And that was the vellum one that I inked, and it just looks really gorgeous, I think. So we've got 1, 2, I keep them in plastic coverings because they are pure white, aren't they? So, and 3, and so I do have 1 left. So what to do, what to do, what to do. This one is for those who don't have a huge amount of things. So I've got a gold pen, felt tip pen, and I am just going to make a border, and I don't want it dead straight, I want it a bit wobbly around the card itself. Then I'm just going to add a dot on each corner. I've got my stickers here, and I've got 'Tis the Season to be Jolly. So I'm going to peel this off and put that there like so. Then I'm going to add this with a dot. I kind of wish I'd have made that with the gold middle, but it doesn't matter for this. You can imagine it's got the gold centre on this one. Then it also adds a bit of variety, I guess. And then just simply choose a couple of little stars. And I've got this, no, maybe not that one. this one. Just going to add that. There. And that is a clean and simple, very quick, very beautiful card. I think it does need, see, this is why clean and simple should be just clean and simple, but it needs something else. What does it need? I think it's just going to have to be just one more star, just off centre there. I feel like that just, I made something. So yeah, very quick, very simple, matching envelope. And in fact, with the envelope, I'm going to do, just to tie it all in, is add just a little star onto there, and there you have it. 4 clean and simple cards with vellum poinsettias. Let me get these out. So one run through my die cut machine with the vellum folded in half and then in half again, made 4 vellum poinsettias, 1 I inked, and 4 very different but very beautiful cards. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.